Today's topic is the importance of educating our children properly at home and not depending so much on the school system to educate our children properly.
Wow. Well, I'll start because it's just a little quick thing is that when we as when we call ourselves a people,
Yes.
as a black race, actually I don't like to call ourselves racist because we're not in a race. We are a people, and to educate at home is like shouldn't be said. It shouldn't be. Shouldn't have to be asked. But all teachings should come from home. So when you look at the rush of governments and people who make money from school to rush in the community to set up shop to teach, they are in it to win it. They're going to make that money. We have the ability to teach our own and get the same supplies that they have.
Right.
But we are not constructing our fellow neighbors of how to do the same thing, how to get the benefits that our tax dollars pay into, because most people don't know that there are tax advantages with teaching at home, and the same supplies that is added to a school for a student can also be applied to your home.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people don't see all this. And so, but they do ask of certain things for you to have in order to do that, because they want you to have some knowledge. They want you to at least have, I'm not sure, but I know they want you to have some education behind you.
Yes. Yeah.
See, because I have daughters that homeschool. And the homeschooling, you can get the same benefits just like busing, just like school books, just like all these things are supplied by government tax dollars that could be supplied into your home.
Wow.
And I'm not just speaking this. I know this because my daughters.
Yeah.
And, so if the kids go out on an outing to go to the aquarium or go to those, the state will pay for that.
Wow. That's good information.
Well, it's just that we are not passing that along. I try to pass it along, and try to get more people into homeschooling, because you will never be taught what you need to be taught in a structured school system that is made for money.
That's right. Exactly. And plus, it's all systematic. We would like to separate one system from another, but it cannot be separated.
Well, I think the young white kids are being disadvantaged the same as young black kids.
You're right,
because they're not teaching. They do have the advantage to get more information at home.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. It may be false information, but it's still their information, and they stand by it and live by it. But that same information doesn't do us any good.
Right. You're right.
And we need to teach our own and establish that it can be done in your home. You can get these monies from the government institutes, and I see it done all the time.
Right. Yeah.
That's my little. Go ahead.
Yeah. Being in school myself, I did not realize how disadvantaged, my people are. You sit in class, and I'm sitting in class, and most of the time I'm the oldest one in there, and I'm listening to the same things over and over and over and over. The same thoughts, And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how will our minds ever become free if the same thing is going on generation after generation after generation? Now, I have to say that you know, a little bit more information, true information about what the European has done is being implemented into the school systems, but still nothing of our true history. And I feel like the only way that our future generations are going to be able to survive and heal is if we have adults who have knowledge of self. You know, we talk about our own systems, our own, you know, educational systems. Well, we can't put people who are going to teach the same things to our children over top of them. We have got to get people whose minds have started to open up to our true history and knowledge of self.
Right.
Not, what's the point? We might as well stay in the same system.
Right.
So, you know, it's
same thing goes for homeschooling. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even in homeschooling, you know, if we go and we have the same literature, the same books that the system already has given us, then we're teaching the same thing. You know, and it's clear. First, our children learn different. I'm all for homeschooling. You know, my blood daughters don't have children yet, but I do have a step grandchild, which is not my step. I won't even say that. But anyway, they've already decided that when they have their children, they will educate them at home.
Right.
And that's so important. You know, it's so very important because we lose our children in a system that knows nothing about our learning style. Think about how many children have been lost because we learn different.
Right.
You know, our minds are creative. You know, so it's a different way that we need to be taught.
Right.
And this is, I see this in myself. Capital, you know, capital R, we just learn different.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's important that that we as adults educate ourselves totally different than what we've been taught. Just when I say tear everything down, we're going to have to go down deep and just destroy everything that we've been taught, everything that we believe in, so we can start anew.
We don't have boards of people who stand and edit or make sure that what is being told is actually correct. We don't have boards and staffs of black educated people standing there guiding what's being told to our children.
Right.
That would be a help for even homeschooling, for, you know, a board or somebody that comes together and says, okay, this is what we can teach our black children. We don't have that.
Right.
You're right.
But we have, white people have it. Chinese have it, Mexicans have it, but we don't have it.
Right.
And that's the scary part. I mean, I went to a Mexican conference meeting here in Kansas City, and everybody was on one accord. I mean, they decided as a community what to do about the children.
Mm-hmm. And that should be our main focus and goal.
Mm-hmm.
Is our children.
That's right.
Our children, you know.
But they thought ahead of us on that. Mm-hmm. They thought to make sure that you stay dispositioned at all times. Okay. And could we keep thinking money is everything?
Right.
And actually, money is not everything. And family is about really everything. Family is everything. And family is not just your immediate family, it's everyone.
Everyone.
everyone's your family. And so they teach away from that. And we should be teaching that each one is part of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that
each child belongs to all of us.
and that's why when we were young, that's why what they did was they went out into our neighborhoods and did scare tactics of putting poisons in the candies on Halloweens. They were doing things to scare you from letting your children go next door or down the street. It's people say that wasn't done purposely, but I remember as a child, seeing white people come in our neighborhoods with wigs on their heads, doing crazy stuff.
And I see that.
And then then I grew up and I see the response and what has happened behind it all.
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't have black people back in those days with the total access of heroin.
Right.
With total access of guns, and we didn't have that. They supplied that. They brought it into our neighborhoods, and they scare tactics against each other. Because back in those days we had forged that front, where the lady down the street was whooping me for not doing what all of that was taken away from us with scare tactics, because they seen. Anytime they see us forging together, they try to break it apart.
Divide
and conquer. Always. They stay on it daily. So to keep from I don't want to say that and not have a solution to that, because we do have solutions to that. And that is when a family, when communities come together, when we should do it all the time. We should have picnics. We should have everything. And in those picnics, we should always have elders speak. We should always have some type of Black history, some type of schooling going on. I mean, with just small picnics.
You're right. Capital, I didn't hear you.
What did you say?
Capital, did you say something?
Oh, I said it right on. I'm loving what I'm
But, these are just small things that could be done with just your family. And then when you go out, we every time that we do a picnic, everybody comes. Hey, and people we don't even know come. And that's your opportunity, to say something and do something. And then remember, when trouble comes to your picnic or something, know that those are outside sources trying to disturb what you're trying to do.
It's about a voice.
That's right.
And voices that are not afraid to speak the truth. And I'm not scared, And I look at my girls, and they're strong Black women, and they're not afraid either. How important it is that we assemble together, because then that kind of knowledge can be spoken. If we could get back to the days where...
Well, that's why people are against, I hear that same thing you're saying right now, go back to the day, but we have to remember what was back there.
But I'm saying go back to the days of bringing ourselves together.
Right.
And